Oh, what is up, YouTube? And apparently, we all remember that whole war on ad blocker that YouTube's been doing for a little bit because for some odd reason they either want to move people to YouTube Plus or just I don't know, give you a shittier experience with YouTube as long as if you have an ad blocker. Well, now it finds out that they're actively stunting the performance of users on YouTube that use ad blocker. And someone I watch called Moist Critical has really gone over this, and I do believe this to be. I don't run ad blocker, but this just seems like something they absolutely would do. I remember when Apple had did this thing, they actively stunted their phones, like the previous models of their phones, to goad people into buying a new phone. Now I do believe they got slapped the fuck down for it. Like I believe they paid out a lot of money, which I mean to Apple isn't much, but having to just pay out money, just free money to users, that's not a situation you want to be in. So I do believe I know in certain countries this is absolutely illegal, like Europe, because they have the Bureau of Consumer Protection, which the entire point of them, they are hired by the taxpayer, and their entire job is to fuck with companies and to find out, okay, what are you doing to fuck with your consumers? It is the one good thing. There's someone that I went to college with, and he's like, this is the one good thing to come out of the EU. And there's this case where there's this a Steam user from Russia, right, who called one of the Steam employees a slur, and Steam completely banned his entire account. So, and he had $2,000 worth of like products that he bought on Steam, and they just said, "Nah, you don't get all this." And I do believe he went to court. He went to I guess, the Bureau of Consumer Protection, and all he had to do was write down his name, write down why. And I do believe he won that case because, lo and behold, you can't take away a product that a consumer has purchased just because they called someone a bad word. And then those are just a couple of cases, like with Apple and this guy. Just a couple of cases where they had to, they took people, actual users took this to court and decided, oh yeah, maybe the company shouldn't fucking do this to us. You know, maybe companies shouldn't, or at least tech companies shouldn't, have this level of power over its consumers, right? You're supposed to be a middleman. You're not supposed to own the consumers on your platform and choose what experiences they can get based off, you know, whatever reason. Like for the case of Apple, it's to goad people into buying the newest and pricier product. In the case of Steam, it's, I guess, to stop people from using slurs. And I know Facebook almost always gets into legal trouble because people found out, oh hey, this platform's free. How do they make How is it a multi-million-dollar company? Well, it's a multi-million-dollar company because it sells your data to advertising companies so they can throw advertisements up your ass. And some people just do not appreciate that. I know that's something that's turned on by default. So to this day, if you make a Facebook account by default, it will sell your data to advertisers, which at first doesn't seem that big of a deal, right? It's whatever. Nowadays people gladly give away their information, But also nowadays you see it every day with companies getting hacked. Just I talked about this on my one of my videos. You had Rockstar get hacked by an 18-year-old using nothing but a fire stick. There's another one called Equifax, which is supposed to hold the information of, like, I think hundreds of millions of Americans. Apparently they got hacked too. So hundreds of millions of Americans just got equifucked. Now their social security numbers out there. Now their information's out there. Which I guess if you don't answer the phone to scammers or have like some protection, wouldn't be that big of a deal. But the question is, why is this happening? Like, I think multi-billion-dollar companies can have the ability to protect your information, right? I mean, that's why they exist, but then you have situations where it doesn't do that. And I don't know if any repercussion has come to Equifax for that. But I know, again, Facebook gets blasted almost monthly because people sue the shit out of them. So I do believe, in the case of YouTube, there are going to be some court. Now, of course, they said, "Oh, we don't do this." And again, people are just looking, like, this is one of those things where you can just look at the evidence. You can use the ad blocker and just look at the evidence, and you'll see, oh, hey, this is actually something that is happening, right? I'm seeing it with my own eyes. Like, I don't have a whole study. I don't have the bit rate and the hertz thrown down on a sheet to try proving this. It's just something people see is happening. And so it's odd that they're straight up lying to people's faces. And secondly, I know people who've gotten ads even if they purchase premium, and they still get ads. Now, I know this is something that is region based. Like, I don't know if I'm not purchasing premium. YouTube can kiss my ass. But I know in certain regions, if you have premium, you'll still get ads. So, I don't know. Is there a solution where if you have ad block and you have a VPN, if you change it to a certain country? Because I know this is primarily happening in America. Like, I'm not surprised it's only in America where they actively hamper your experience just to goad you into buying the premium. But someone just needs to do this experiment. Run an ad blocker. Change your VPN to, I don't know, Israel. And see if that does anything. Or if you have premium, use premium and change your VPN to fucking Brazil. And see how, because it has to be a region-based thing, right? I know YouTube is worldwide, so I don't know if again, it could primarily be happening to, say, its American audience, but not really happening to his audience around the world. And they know this, and this is probably why they could lie to your face. Because, oh, if every single user is not experiencing this, well, then the few that are, you can just shove off their grievances. But this is really something I want to figure out. Because, one, it's just dumb. It's shitty to actively hamper, like, your users just to goad them into getting rid of their ad block or buying premium. I don't understand this idea of shooing your consumers into doing one or two things. I mean, I don't, again, on their own computer, on their own account, on their own internet that they pay for, in their own house, if you're hampering their experience. And obviously, YouTube can do this because they're the big man on the block. I mean, there are, you have the Rumbles and the Twitches and the Twitters of the world, but again, Twitch is falling off completely and desperate. No one goes to Rumble, even though people are like, go to Rumble, go to Rumble. Well, I mean, most people I watch, they have a Rumble, but no one goes there. Everyone is on YouTube. YouTube is the most centralized platform for entertainment, which is sad that they're trying to effectively become television at this point. Like, people move to YouTube to begin with because because television was falling off, and people were like, well, why would I pay, like, what was it, 50 something a month just to get ads dumped down my ass and watch a couple of TV shows when I can just go to either YouTube or other certain sites and just watch the TV shows unabridged. Like, it's just a better product. Like, if you have a better product, why would you choose the inferior one? And that's the idea of you. That was the idea of YouTube. Now, obviously, YouTube has went through many changes in the past to end up to where it is today. And okay, it's not perfect, but I still think YouTube is the best possible alternative, unless you want to quote unquote search the high seas for a better entertainment. But most people don't go to those things. Again, most people just flip up YouTube. I don't know who doesn't have a YouTube account, right? Even if you don't have an account, right? Even if you do not have a single account, you can still just search the stuff and watch it. An account just makes it more streamlined. So, and again, the fact that they're actively hampering their services of people who use Adblocker is proof of that, right? Trying to goad you into buying premium is proof that they know they're the big man on the block. And maybe if something else shows up, I know Twitch did literally this exact same thing. It's like these social media sites start out as one thing, but they end out something completely different. And that's just sort of the trend. That's just sort of happening. And that's what's happening with YouTube right now. So, anyway, that's my whole spiel on the whole ad block war YouTube's going through. See ya.